Thank you, Regina. Hi, friends. All right, thank you all for coming out today. And when I was asked again to come out and speak with all of y'all, first off, I was excited. And then secondly, I thought, where do I begin? And what can I say in 5 to 10 minutes that will make a difference? And that's when fear started to creep in. And I realized how powerful a 4-letter word like fear can be. So powerful that our current president uses it constantly. You see, fear tells us to sit down. Fear tells us to stay quiet. Fear tells us nothing we can do will matter. But hope, that's a whole other 4-letter word, right? Hope tells a different story. Hope is why we gathered here today. Not because we are afraid, not because we refuse to let fear decide our future or the future of our children and our grandchildren. You see, hope is not soft. Hope is not passive, and hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is action. I served the majority of my military career under one president. But before he was president, he actually authored a book titled The Audacity of Hope. And when I served under President Obama, I did not fear that the president would use me and my friends as pawns to further enrich himself or his friends, or to start wars to overshadow his relationship with child predators. I served under a president who never served himself, but I never doubted his respect for our service. I watched as just down the road here at Dover Air Base, where he held a salute for 45 straight minutes at 3 a.m. during a dignified transfer for 18 U.S. personnel. Not for a photo op, not in a ball cap, and not for a fundraising campaign, but out of a deep-held respect for the sacrifice of those brave souls. Right now, we have a wannabe king ruling with fear, and his administration wants you to be overloaded by news, overloaded with chaos, overloaded with fear, because fear freezes us. It convinces us that the problems we are facing are too big, the system too powerful, and our individual voices too small. Fear asks, what if I fail? What if I'm alone? What if I make things worse? But hope asks such better questions. Hope asks, what if I help one person? What if I take one step? What if this small act is the start of something bigger? Or the simple, what if I turn this I into a we? That is the power of hope. See, with hope we are strong enough to overcome fear. Change doesn't happen because we're fearless. It moves forward because people were hopeful enough to act anyway. We often imagine change as loud, immediate, and dramatic. It reminds me of the Doge days of last year. It reminds me of the name changes to the Department of Defense or to the Kennedy Center. But let me tell you, those are not lasting changes. See, real changes happen in places like this.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Real change starts quietly. It starts with someone choosing to take a stand, someone refusing to look away. Small acts are not insignificant, they are contagious.
Yeah.
And we can do them together. When one person acts, it gives another person permission to act, and another, and another, and another. That's how movements and change begin, not at once, but moment by moment. Hope does not require perfection. Hope only requires your participation.
Yeah.
So, as Regina said, I'm a student of history, and throughout history, we've seen everyday people shape extraordinary change. They didn't wait to be powerful. They didn't wait for it to be safe or certain. They believed that dignity was worth defending, that justice could be built, that love could be stronger than hate. They marched when it was dangerous. They spoke when it was unpopular. They acted when fear told them not to. Not because they were immune to fear, but because hope told them it was necessary. People like Martin Luther King Jr., who taught us how to fight without using our fist. People like John Lewis taught us how to get into good trouble. People like Gloria Steinem and Ida B. Wells to use our voices to push back against the status quo. People like Rosa Parks that showed us that we don't need to stand up to take a stand. People like Fred Rogers that wants us to be good neighbors to everyone. So today I ask you this. What is the small thing that you'll do over the next week? Maybe it's starting a conversation. Maybe it's showing up at another event. Maybe it's choosing kindness when anger is easier. Maybe it's refusing to give in to exhaustion and despair. Maybe it's not replying to that Facebook thread. I don't know. Whatever it is, do that. Do that. Because hope doesn't live in speeches alone. Hope lives in steps. Hope lives in choices. And hope lives in us. And when enough of us choose hope over fear, when enough of us act instead of freeze, history shows us, our founders show us, our civil rights leaders have shown us, we become unstoppable.
Yeah. Woo.
So, let today be proof that fear does not get the final word, hope does. Thank you.